Today I'd like to share an ancient and powerful method for reducing suffering in your life and waking up to more freedom, ease, joy and balance. And for some reason these ancient ideas are less known in our world, and I'm not sure why, because they've changed my life. And so I want to share what I've been learning on my journey, and we are going to explore Taoist ideas, Taoism coming from ancient China. And in this video I want to share with you the 3 core stages to Taoist meditation, the practice to help you wake up to your potential. Stage 1, concentrating the mind. Stage 2, gaining insight as to who you are and how you work. And then stage 3, learning how to be and to flow with being. Over this video, we will explore paradoxical poems and ancient humorous stories in order to unlock some of these ancient principles. And my journey, if you don't know who I am, my name is George, and my journey started in anxiety and pain. My inner critic, who I personified as the underminer, a troubled wizard that would beat me up and say, "Hey, George, still single? Not many friends? Oh, and now you're anxious. You're pathetic. Look at everything you've been given. You are weak." So that was my inner critic. And at the time, when I was 22, I didn't know how to relate to this voice in my head. I didn't understand how my mind, my heart, my consciousness worked. Then I adventured to China, thinking Kung Fu might make me a stronger man, whatever that means. And I found not Kung Fu, but Tai Chi and Taoism and meditation. And in particular, the book written by this person, Lao Tzu, from 500 BC, 2,500 years ago, was the book that really changed everything for me. Before reading this book, I thought I was uniquely messed up. Nobody understands my pain, my anxiety, I have these unique problems. And then I read this book called the Tao Te Ching, 2,500 years old, and I realized, wow, the ancient Chinese hurt as well, and their ideas of what helped them still help me, some random British bloke 2,500 years later. Whoa, that's pretty interesting. And to me, that says that you and I, we have a nature. You know, we are biological beings. The heart and mind and nervous system work basically the same way that they did 2,500 years ago, 10,000 years ago. And so these fundamental needs and patterns, these ways of our being, we can learn them. And when we learn them, we gain clarity. So before we get into the 3 stages, really to understand what the Taoist approach to healing is to understand what the Tao is, the Tao of Taoism. So the Tao translates as the way or the path, and it can refer to the ways of the cosmos, or it can refer to the ways of something really small, knitting, Kit Kat Chunkies, George, me, and you, your Tao, your way. So we're on a journey of knowing thyself, gaining clarity as to our Tao, our way, how the universe works, our place within it, how our heart works, how our consciousness works. And with that clarity, we then navigate life with skill, and that's wisdom. And then with that wisdom, we find peace and balance and harmony. So if I was to sum up this journey in 3 sentences, to hurt is to be human, we have awesome potential, practice is the path. My anxiety, or wherever you are, if you're feeling stuck and confused, or if you're feeling like you want to grow and expand, to hurt is to be human. We suffer. And we have awesome potential. Every wisdom teacher worth their salt has said we have an awesome potential for clarity, wisdom, balance, ease, peace. But if we're hurting now and we've got awesome potential, then we need to do something to get there. Practice is the path. And so the Taoists, they offer beautiful ideas as well as beautiful practices to help us wake up to our potential and to help us find more freedom, ease and joy. So in this video, we're going to explore the 3 stages to waking up in the Taoist approach. Stage 1, concentrating the mind. So we've already talked about what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, what the Taoists call the ordinary mind, which for you and me is, this agitation in the mind, and particularly with modern society, but it's not just modern society, this flitting around, unable to concentrate, judgments, self-criticism, not realizing that, hey, this isn't me, this is just a voice in my head, an energy arising in my awareness. And before we even get to that insight of how really the nature of thoughts works, we need to learn how to just steady our awareness. And the Taoists, they offer some really beautiful practices to help us do that, to be able to rest and train our awareness. This is the good news, it's trainable. So if you feel like, for me, anxious and quite a busy mind, or I don't say busy anymore, activated or active mind. If you have that as well, then hey, that's your brain and it's something you're going to need to work with. And the good news is that you can soften over time with practice. So the basic and fundamental training in this is the breath. The breath in Chinese is Qi. Two meanings. Qi, energy, as you all know, energy that powers the whole universe, and the breath, the same character, two meanings. That's how important the Taoists thought the breath to be. So when we learn how to cultivate and concentrate our breath, then that's when we access a lot of beautiful things. If there's one thing that you remember from this video, is that when you slow down your breath, you slow down your mind and your heart automatically. You may know about the rest and digest nervous system. As you slow your breath down, you automatically send soothing signals through the rest and digest nervous system. If you breathe down into your belly, like this is a stressed breath, right? My shoulders are up, my throat is closed, I'm breathing into my throat. Whereas if I soften my belly, breathe down, releasing tension, slow my breath, breathe in and out through my nose, then that is when I begin to relax and train this ability to relax on demand. Beautiful. So to remember the relaxing breath is LSD through the nose. Get high without the drugs. LSD is an acronym, light, slow, deep, through the nose. So can your breath be so light you can't hear it? Slow, around 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Deep, breathing down into your belly, releasing stomach tension through the nose, a relaxing breath. So you can pause that and take some notes on the LSD. It's a really important technique there, an idea to remember. What the Taoists contribute with their breathing practices is something called the Dantian, another key concept in Taoism. So Dan means elixir, Tian means field. And so just below the belly button, just here, a few centimeters below the belly button is the Dantian, or the lower Dantian, which for the ancient Taoists is an energy center. And even if you don't need to get too esoteric with that, it is our physical center. You know, the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci. Those lines intersect at the Dantian, just below the belly button. If I had a super strong finger, I'd be able to balance you right there, because that is the physical center. So something beautiful happens when we rest our awareness down on our belly, down on the Dantian. If you've tried any meditation, often you will be watching the breath come in and out through your nostrils, which is beautiful. The only thing is the nostrils are very close to thinking, and thinking is where all the confusion happens. Another option is available. We're training our awareness to steady, right? And so you can focus your awareness down on your belly. And you can even try this with me now. As you breathe in, releasing stomach tension, sending the breath deep down into you, and then being aware of any sensations that you feel in that lower area. Maybe around the belly button, maybe below, maybe all the way down to the pelvic floor. And as you breathe in and out, seeing if you can be present with those sensations. And the beautiful thing is that as you are aware of those sensations, you're just watching your breath, and you get a free meditation from that. Because instead of being lost in thought, you're coming into presence. What am I feeling inside of me? Can I be with it? So Dantian breathing, really powerful, and just a place that you can begin to rest your awareness. Maybe you're in a meeting, maybe you're in a job interview. Release stomach tension. You can still be stressed, but still do it anyway. Release stomach tension and bring your awareness down to your belly, your Dantian. This is the beautiful thing, is that anxiety can be present, as well as watching the sensations of the breath coming in and out through your belly. This is what we learn in the journey of waking up, is that our awareness, we can open more space, we can focus on more things at once, so there can be tension and relaxation present at the same time. And that's okay, that's great, because you've opened more spaciousness. So we transform from I am anxious to there's a part of me that feels anxious, or there's a fast heart rate here, and my breath is deep and slow and easy. Both things can be true. Then you find yourself more resilient, more grounded, and that's a skill, something to develop. So that's stage one, concentrating the mind with practice, directing your awareness to a specific point on the body, training your mind to stay. Every time you're lost in thought, come back gently, zero judgment. Brains think, that's what they do. Meditation is not about having a quiet mind and never thinking again. Instead, it's the spaciousness that we open up into. Training the awareness to steady and embracing this present moment. Before we move on to stage 2, I want to let you know about a 15-day Taoist meditation course that I've just released on Taoist Wellness Online. Join me for 15 minutes a day for 15 days as we practice together. Each session will explore ancient ideas direct from the classical texts and then practice together. Each session building on the next. And this is really waking up with the Tao, bringing together so much of what I've learned on my journey into a really easy, simple 15-step process. And my aim by the end of the course is that you are equipped with the tools and practices that you can then draw upon for the rest of your life, long beyond the course has finished. Taoist Wellness Online has a free 7-day trial, so you can join for the first 7 days and see if you like it. It's also an awesome way that you can support our work and our mission, Balance is Possible. We are on a mission to inspire balance for people and planet. I think you'll really enjoy it. Click the link in the description, try out the first 7 days and see what you learn. Let's continue with the video. So on to stage 2 now. As we embrace this present moment, as we become more sensitive to this present moment, then we begin to gain insight as to how we really work. And one of the key insights is that everything is moving, everything is changing. So these thoughts that we used to identify with, like for me, like my name is George and I lived in Bristol in the United Kingdom. My love language is vegan brownies. You know, these are stories that I would identify myself with. This is me. Hey, guys. Then in meditation, we begin to observe the nature and reality of thinking. You may have this beautiful experience, and you've got to experience it for yourself to really, really feel it. You may have the experience of a thought popping up into your awareness. You notice a thought, but instead of just identifying with it, getting lost in it, believing it, you just name it. There's a thought. And then you realize that a thought is just an energy arising in your awareness. Like in the same way that sensation, if you want to try rubbing your fingertips together and to be present with the sensation on your fingertips, that's an experience arising in my awareness, right? The sensation of friction. A thought is the same thing. It's a way that our consciousness presents ways, it's a message from our consciousness to say, hey, something's important. So with that understanding that a thought, it is real in the sense that it's happening, but it doesn't have to be true. You don't have to believe every thought. And wow, what a freedom you can find from that, and I have found from that, is that we create our own story. There's nothing inevitable about the story of you. You know, for me, I beat myself up for not being good enough and for this perfection that I demanded of myself. I've got to be stronger, I've got to be better in various ways. And that desire for perfection was punishing. And yet I didn't know how to free myself from it. And what I found is that I can't switch off that voice, but what I can do is change how I relate to it. I can notice that, hey, this is just thinking, to take a breath and kindly, compassionately come back to the present moment. Notice, center, choose. Notice the thought, center on my breath, choose my response. Could be just let it go, come back into the present moment, or maybe the thinking is accurate and my wisdom has decided, okay, I need to do something about this. Then that's your wisdom journey, and my wisdom journey is to be able to discern when is thinking serving me, when is it not. And that beautiful option of letting it go that so few people in our society realize that they have. And so in stage 2 of insight, one of the big offerings that Taoism offers us is ideas to help us let go and to be able to shed all of the challenging thoughts and feelings that are challenging us. So again, coming back to the Tao Te Ching, the foundational text of Taoism, Lao Tzu talks about how learning is normally a process of accumulating tips and tricks and courses and podcasts. He didn't say that bit, but you get the point. So learning is normally a process of accumulation. Learning the Tao, however, remember this key term, the Tao of Taoism, the ways of nature. Learning the Tao is a process of discarding, daily discarding, discarding and discarding until all that is left is effortless action, effortless spontaneity. So that is what is available to us, is letting go and seeing what is beneath. For the Taoists, they have the belief that beneath all of the challenging thinking and painful stories is a sacred core, something that cannot be improved, coming from the great mystery, what they call the Tao, what you could call the forces of nature if you're an atheist, or God if you are religious, whatever word, it doesn't matter. Beneath all that thinking is a mystery. And the funny thing is because we're born a mystery, you know, here we are thinking, breathing, dancing, laughing, Tai Chiing, crying, knitting, all of the things that we do as human beings, and this magical gift of this lifetime. Because we were born that way, we take it for granted. And then we're so busy managing our lives that we forget the great mystery that we are a part of. The Taoists want us to remember, and that remembering not needing to be an intellectual thing, but instead as we shed and as we are present with the nature inside of us and the nature outside, then naturally, as we begin to shed the thinking and the stories and the baggage, then a natural sense of awe and wonder and reverence arise. So stage 2, insight, gaining clarity as to really how we work, our place in the universe, part of this great mystery, how our heart and mind and consciousness work, ever-changing thoughts. We create our stories. We can let them go. We have the freedom to do that. And really, you have to discover all of this for yourself. You know, these are my words and then Lao Tzu's words and these timeless teachings passed down the generations. But it's only going to become wisdom when it becomes lived and embodied by you. So knowledge, wisdom, not the same. Wisdom is knowledge applied. Knowledge applied. So then that is where the meditation practices come in. And what the Taoists talk about is fasting the mind, fasting the mind. You've heard about the benefits of maybe intermittent fasting or fasting every now and again. How about fasting the mind, where we abstain from, compulsive doom scrolling or constant socializing, and find and choose moments of silence and clarity and peace. And maybe when we first start doing that fasting of the mind, it's challenging because now we're going to have to face all of this pain that we've been running away from, and our society says, oh, just watch Netflix, oh, just eat this food, just go shopping. No need to stay still and look inside. Happiness is outside of you in the world of things. Then you'll be adored, then you'll be valued. But the Taoists say no. Even back then they said, no, you're going to be stuck in the chase. If you externalize your happiness, if you think that happiness is outside of you, you're going to always be like the hamster on the hamster wheel. And whereas a hamster enjoys that playful spinning, you're going to be stuck, compulsively doing it because you don't know how to step off. So step off. Take the radical act of choosing nothing, choosing emptiness, choosing to fast the mind, to sit in silence at least once a day, and to be present with your experience, to see if you can open up to more compassion to this experience. Like, here I am in this complex world, troubled and traumatized world, everything that I've gone through in my childhood and in my life, and all the beauty that is here as well. Both can be present at the same time. And to do that relaxed breathing, to come down to your belly, and then just notice, to watch, to observe what arises for you. So stage 2 is insight and letting go. And one of the beautiful gifts that Taoism offers us is so many ideas around how to let go. And now we are on to stage 3. And Zhuangzi, this is Zhuangzi. He was alive in 300 BC, and his stories are super funny. That's how he likes to tell his philosophy. And he talks about now being. So we've learned how to let go, and that's a journey of a lifetime, but develop some of the skills to be able to let go, gain insight as to how we work, and then being, resting into being. And what I love about Taoism is that, unlike some traditions where they talk about nirvana, we need to escape and transcend this human experience, or heaven, some future reward. The Taoists say, hey, this life is precious, and really, can you harmonize with life in this lifetime? There's nowhere to go, nothing to become, but can you harmonize with this life? So Zhuangzi talks about how if you have a comfortable belt, you don't feel it around your waist. If your shoes are comfortable, you don't feel your shoes. In the same way that if you have a comfortable sense of self, you really enjoy being you, then you don't notice yourself. You don't notice that sense of self. Lao Tzu talks about so many people have so many challenges in their lives because they define themselves too narrowly. If you expand your narrow sense of self, then what troubles can you have? So as we let go of these judgments as to how we should be, how the world should be, and come into the present moment with acceptance, then we don't need to be evaluating, like, how am I doing in my life and am I good enough? And just to speak to my own experience, like, one of the parts of my psyche is the life evaluator, who's got a clipboard from birth to death and says, George, still single, still not many friends and financially insecure. You really should be here by now. You know, the judgment and the pain that comes from that life evaluator. Whereas if we have this beautiful, comfortable belt where we don't even notice it, or the shoes that are comfortable, this sense of self when we're not having to analyze how am I doing the whole time, then we can relax into being. One of the great contributions for the Taoist culture to this ability to be and to enjoy, firstly, to just remember it's not a journey from here to there. Here's where we are, there is where we should be, healed and enlightened and purified. Instead, the journey is from there, where we think we should be, to here, where we are now. And what a beautiful, radical shift in how we understand really what this life is about. Coming back, embracing this moment. One of the beautiful gifts that Taoism gives us is a practice called Zuo Wang, sitting and forgetting. So we concentrated the mind, and then we noticed the ever-arising and passing field of sensations and thoughts, and found that we could let them go and not need to resist or hold on. In stage 3, it's really even forgetting the identification of, like, these are my thoughts, or this is my sensation. And to not focus on anything in particular, and to fully relax. What the Taoists call sitting and forgetting. Forgetting that you even have a body. Forgetting that you even have a mind. Forgetting that there's a person trying to improve themselves. Forgetting any idea of a place to be or a place to go. And to, in your practice, in your meditation practice, to actively invite that energy of forgetting into your practice and into your life. And that can be a bit of a controversial idea maybe in our society, like forgetting myself, I don't want to forget myself. Forgetting my body, I don't want to forget my body. It's just remembering and reminding us that this is an option. That I don't always have to be so identified and so rigidly narrow with my understanding of who I am. Forget it all. Soften. And then a play can come from that space. A light smile. Hee hee. The Taoists, they joyfully navigated their lives with a smile. And so it's not that, we forget everything and then we become like a vegetable, like, yeah, cut me up. I don't care. Do anything you want to me. Do anything you want to me. Put me in a soup. No, we still have discernment and preferences, but also we hold it in this much bigger space and freedom. We have responsibility, the ability to choose our response. And part of that is just to merge with the mystery, not to be so caught up in having to force and manage our lives. This helps us be more spontaneous, remembering that I'm not just my thoughts, I have an intuitive body wisdom available to me. And if in my meditation practice I actively sit and forget, then I train my nervous system that I don't always have to be navigating my life through my head. That actually I can come into my body, come into the present moment, and trust what comes. So those are the 3 stages. I hope these ideas have served you and has created some ideas and reflections for you. If you'd like to get deeper with me, I've got this 15-day Taoist meditation course. We meditate 15 times, 15 minutes each session, exploring ancient ideas, as well as then applying the practice in a stage-by-stage sequence where you're going to learn Taoist true breathing, Dantian breathing, the inner smile meditation, the letting go meditation, so many more, sitting and forgetting, Zuo Wang, Ziran, the natural meditation, step by step, piece by piece, part by part, breath by breath, breaking these practices down to serve you. There's a free 7-day trial so you can see for yourself if you enjoy it. You could always cancel if you don't. And you also get loads of learning with Taoist Wellness online from myself and Master Gu. It's also how you can support me and the team to reach more people. So, sending you my best wishes on your journey of waking up, finding more clarity, joy, ease, balance is possible.